Well, hello there. Let's talk about Mental Capacity Act. Now, mental capacity is the ability of your patients to be able to make a decision about what happens to them. So, as paramedics then, you are going to be going to many patients who really do need you to treat them and help them and care for them, who either lack capacity or have full capacity. Then, of course, there's everything else in between. So as the paramedic, you've got to try and juggle all of this information about the patient's situation, the patient's presentation, and try and navigate this minefield to be able to make the right decision for that patient. Now, the Mental Capacity Act started in 2005 and really does help you as the paramedic to make a decision as to whether or not the patient has the ability to make a sound decision to be cared for, or whether or not you guys need to actually step in and treat and care for that patient against their will. So the Mental Capacity Act is based around a person who has lost capacity. Now, the good news is for the emergency practitioner, the principles are much more straightforward than if you're caring for somebody in an ongoing chronic condition. So those conditions, the acute conditions, are any situation where the patient cannot understand the information. In other words, they do not know why you need help. They can't retain that information, and they cannot weigh the information up to make a decision. So let's try and use an example then. You arrive at scene to a patient who has got left-sided heart failure, and they're extremely short of breath because they're hypoxic. It's causing hypoxia. Now, you're trying to say to them, look, I need to give you this drug, GTN, to help you with your breathing problems and help relax your heart. And they're just refusing. Now, what you have to understand is, what you have to assess is, can they understand you? So they're not showing you any signs of being able to understand you because they're so acutely unwell. Then you can argue that they do not have capacity. Another example was a male who's called the ambulance for shortness of breath due to asthma. When you arrive, you give him the salbutamol and you say to him, look, based on the information you've given me, I'd like you to take me to hospital for an assessment. And they say, no, I've got to go to work. You say to that person, look, I'm concerned about you because of the things you've told me. These are the reasons why I'm concerned. Do you understand why I'm concerned? Can you tell me, repeat that back to me? And then I'll be happy to leave you here. And they say, yes, I understand you're worried because of the things I've told you. And these are the things I've told you, but I need to get to work. Then what they've demonstrated is that they understand that they've retained the information. They can use that information to weigh up a decision, weigh it up to make a decision. And they've made that decision and they've been able to communicate that decision to you as the paramedic. So that's when you know that you're absolutely happy to be able to leave that person on scene. What you have to also remember is if somebody temporarily lacks capacity, and then you give it back to them, let's say you've done something, whether it's an airway maneuver or you've given them a drug, and then they get their capacity back and they're able to make their own decisions, then again, they have the right to make their own decisions. So that's a snapshot into mental capacity. I hope you've enjoyed this session, guys. I look forward to speaking to you again shortly in another session. Take care.